You almost have to schedule like a 5 to 7 where everybody lays down and has a nap to recharge and do it again.
Is that how that works?
Usually.
They have 3 or 4 stages, music playing all day, 35, 40 bands, all day long, from 1 o'clock till 1 o'clock. And it's really something. I couldn't believe it, that it would work, but it does. It's great. People enjoy it.
Yes, sir. And not to get too ahead of ourselves, but then in September, we've got big plans at South Broadway as well, right, with the Hall of Fame?
We got quite a bit coming up in September. We're putting some people into the South Broadway Hall of Fame and some people into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So I know we got Danny Stemple. He come to us many, many years ago. His father worked at Anheuser-Busch, brought him down, and said, "I'd like to keep my son out of trouble. Can you do anything for me?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Does he know anything about wrestling?" He said, "No, we don't know a thing about wrestling." I said, "Well, that's a good way to start." So we took him in, and lo and behold, he became one of the premier wrestlers in the MMWA.
Yes, sir.
And heavyweight champion, even over in Southern Illinois, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. He was a force to be reckoned with. He was really a good guy, good gentleman, good wrestler.
Well, when SICW had their sort of a soft reboot 8-9 years ago, there was a tournament to crown a new champion. Danny Boy was the very first SICW Classic Wrestling champion as well, so well deserved.
Good. He's going to be going into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. And then we have the Giant Assassin.
Yes.
He's going into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's been there for many, many years. He said it's the house that he built. And then we have the Menace. He used to be the ruler of the wrestling world as Big Daddy.
Yes.
He's going in. He was on Big Daddy, the Giant Assassin side almost in every match. Even when he wrestled King Kong Brody all over the Midwest, Big Daddy was there. And Big Bruiser Brody.
There it is.
Tried many, many times to get a hold of Big Daddy. Eventually he did.
Yes.
And it was at the Sunday Morning Athletic Club in South St. Louis over there on, what street is that, Jimmy? Do you know what street that is? Jimmy went to sleep.
He's doing his own thing.
He went to sleep.
I know what you mean, though. That match is actually on YouTube, available somewhere, so people look for it.
Yeah,
Bruiser Brody and Ron Powers, actually a very young Ron Powers, teaming up against Big Daddy and the Giant Assassin, and you get to see Big Daddy. His feet move quicker than I thought were possible when Brody goes after him, and it's good.
Brody chased him out of the building. They run up the driveway, around the tree, and come back. And Big Daddy fell down after he got in. He couldn't breathe. So that was a night to remember.
I bet.
Yeah. So that was a great night. And then we're going to have Rob Phillips. He was one of the first champions in the MMWA many, many years ago.
Okay.
And there's going to be another modern day gentleman who just retired not too long ago. He's still around.
You teased me with this last time. You said that, and then you moved on because you wanted to keep it a secret.
Well, I'm not going to say nothing yet.
All right.
I'll probably say something in August. We'll tell you who that last one is.
Very good.
I'm still working on some details for that. We got the plaques being made for the other ones that I just mentioned. And everything will be in the works for sure by August.
By August. I can dig it. Out here we're just freestyling here. Do you know, is this going to be attached to the wrestling show, or will we do like a separate sort of anything ceremony? Or?
We'll probably do a couple of ceremonies. We'll have wrestling matches. We'll do the ceremony for the South Broadway Athletic Club Hall of Fame. Might have a few more matches, and then we'll do introduction to the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yes, I like that a lot. And those nights are really, really special because people that haven't seen each other for a long time get together, and it's just a really positive sort of night whenever folks like that get together and honor our legends that paved the way for what we're doing tonight.
I got to talk to Herb Simmons to make sure everything's okay. We got another person that's in the background here that we're talking about that we might add to the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. And it's just between Herb and Nick and myself, and we'll see if we can come up with an agreement, and we'll put this other person in there.
Very good.
So
It's going to be a big night. Night.
So the rumor is it will be broadcasted on the Hall of Fame itself. Will be broadcasted on St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Nick Ridenhour's page. So
Yes.
we're going to broadcast it to there, and then we'll share it over to the MMWA page. But it's going to be two separate broadcasts because we'll do the wrestling. So
I can dig it. I'll be there, and I'm excited.
Isn't that what? I mean, that's what Nick has told me.
That'll work. That's fine.
Right? Ain't that how we're supposed to do it or something like
I
that?
think that'll work.
We got a few
Right.
months. It's a
Yeah,
work
we
in
still got a few
progress.
months, so
Yeah.
we got enough time. Harris, did you find us finally?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I got all the fans know where we're at, what's going on. And fans, if you want to go on to where we just posted this on there and shared it, you can keep the messages going on there. We will respond to the messages.
Right, yeah.
on there.
So the reason why we were kind of going off of Facebook is we noticed a lot last week. We were still having a lot of problems, still a lot of technical difficulties. So we broadcasted off of YouTube, and we're noticing, and what I'm noticing because I'm doing all of the production and stuff, we're not losing signal as much. We're not dropping frames. We're not getting this circle of death. It's just a more viable option. So we share it over there. So, and even, it's on our Facebook page at MMWA Wrestling right now. You go on the link, click over, it'll send you right to the YouTube page. But I do have to say something, Drew. Well, I don't see yours. You didn't get one, Drew, because you're not special. I got this little cool-ass koozie of Tony Costa.
I put mine away.
You didn't get one, Drew.
I got
He
one.
doesn't like you.
Yes, he got one.
Thank you.
Tony, you
don't cause no problems. This is the Love
Trying
Network.
to stir it up. The
The Love Network.
I
That's
like it.
That's One Nation Network.
We change it when Tony's in the house.
Right.
It turns into the House of Love.
Here's something I didn't realize, though, Tony. You are a 7-time junior heavyweight champion.
Yes, I am.
That means there were 7 other guys that were better than you that smacked you around.
Well, there was a hell of a lot more than 7.
So that might, Drew will have to look, we'll have to have Ben Simon look, but that might be a record for the junior heavyweight championship.
No, I think
it's not?
No. There's one that had 8.
Somebody had 8?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll check this out. Ben Simon has the majority of the South Broadway title history, but a lot of it was taken from a really cool championship history book by Royal Duncan and Gary Will. That's almost like a Bible. And there were some results in there that helped fill some holes, but there are still to this day, there's some gaps in the South Broadway. I don't know if there's anybody out there that compiled all of the results through, the 90s and stuff, but if that's still a project that we could fill some holes in. So anyway.
I have a question.
Yes.
So we have these cool little can koozies right here.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. They are actually kind of nice looking. I like them.
Yep.
Can people buy these or?
No.
So these were just a special thing for us?
My youngest daughter come into town a couple of weeks ago. We had a little get-together.
Right.
And she heard I was feeling bad. She wanted to see me. And she brought them up. She got her son does a lot of work with that kind of stuff, my grandson. And she gave me a couple dozen of them. So I'm not going to sell them. I'll just give them to a few people.
Well, hell, I feel special.
Well, you're kind of a jerk for teasing the people like that.
I could care less about teasing the people.
Well,
I ain't reaching for hugs, Drew, like
That's
you.
accurate. I like hugs.
I know
That's what
you
we're here
do.
For, right? Hugs, not drugs, right?
That's it. We done that. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
That's right.
We done that. Well, I know we done one at Granite City. We done one at the high school, different high schools. We went all over the place. The Giant Assassin, myself, 2 or 3 other wrestlers. We done it. We done it for 4 or 5 months. Hope Simmons, he drove us around in the Simmons ambulance.
Yeah.
And we done hugs are better than drugs. Yeah, we done it all over Southern Illinois.
See, maybe if you maybe had more hugs, you wouldn't be so pent up all the time.
Be quiet, Drew.
On edge.
Be quiet.
So
I'm not.
Not only is Christmas in July the dirty chopathon, maybe
Tony's already said he's not allowing that.
Well,
Tony says he feels bad for me.
None of this is true, but
he's not allowing that, right, Tony?
We can
Well,
help.
we might do it, but it'll be done on the front steps of the South Broadway Athletic Club.
I dig it.
At about 7:30, a half hour before the matches. If anybody wants to see it, be there on the sidewalk. If you don't want to see it, go on inside and sit down.
That might be a fun thing to do during intermission, just so maybe people that want to toss us a little extra money in the final hours, we can
I
add
don't
one
know.
or
We
two
get
more
them
tops.
outside. They may not come back in. We better not do that.
That's fair enough.
This is just nonsense.
As I was trying to say, in July, not only people are bringing teddy bears. We're collecting teddy bears, folks. If you have some, bring them to us. But not only is Dirty going to get a lot of chops, but maybe if we get collect hugs for him. If you're nice enough to want to hug him, maybe we can help sort of, remember in the Grinch,
Yeah, maybe a $25 donation to get you a hug.
For every hug, okay, so for every hug I get, Jim Harris gets a wet willy.
Isn't that
I
silly?
just don't see that happening.
No, it's going to happen, Harris.
who?
From me.
I will watch. I'd like that just to watch you.
But just let me tell you what's going to happen. Whoever gets the chop, the person that's supposed to chop or paid the money or whatever for this charity is going to pick somebody to chop. So they're not going to do it themselves. They're going to pick somebody that can put the hurt to you. So I don't know who's going to be slapping you and how many's going to be slapping you. But
Listen,
this is going to be great.
listen.
Payback.
Got a
Listen,
few in you.
I got people.
I hope they pick me. I like to put one on them.
I got people working on this. That's what I got.
Well, I'll tell you what. You better call Brown and Group or Brown and Brown.
Brown and Brown, is that what it is?
Well, there's going to probably be a lot of brown.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. I'm sure. So, but let's get to it. Tony Costa's here. Like you said, Tony always usually joins us the day after the Wednesday after the card. Tony, what was? And actually, I think there was a Blues game that night. Right?
Yes, it was.
Which we actually still had a very good turnout.
Yes, we did. It was better than the month before.
Right. So with the Blues being in the Stanley
I
Cup?
think the Blues were Sunday.
Yeah, they were off that night.
That was Sunday. It was a day later.
That's right. That's right.
Day later.
Amazing turnout. We say this every time.
Right.
When we go upstairs to have our pre-show meeting, I always worry a little bit because there's still some empty seats at 7:50. 7:50. I said, dang, I guess tonight it's not all are going to be great. Maybe tonight's the night. And then we come back downstairs and magically within 15 minutes, it's standing room only. And I don't understand how that happens, but I'm blown away by it every month.
Yeah,
It's
I have
every time.
a nervous problem every month.
Yeah.
Between 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Well, I shouldn't, because we have loyal fans that come month after month, and they bring new people every once in a while, and it's just a great atmosphere. It's economically, I can't say that word.
Economically.
Say it again.
You got it.
Economic-y.
Yeah, I like that.
Whatever that word
And
is.
the price is not too high. The food's not too high. The beverages are cold.
Right.
The popcorn's hot. And we have a good atmosphere. The people are yelling, screaming, whatever they want to do. And it's just a great night.
Yep.
Yeah. Let some steam off.
Right, exactly.
Tremendous stuff. We'll do a quick one. We kind of ran down some stuff last week, but we
Well,
didn't
go
really
ahead.
talk.
I don't have my list. I don't even know what happened.
Dr. Drew does.
I'll help you
So
out.
we'll start
I
at the
don't
top.
know
We'll get-
what happened yesterday.
Right. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, we can see that.
We'll get through it together because I think we didn't get to talk about really the Ricky Cruz, Curtis Wild stuff in too deep.
Oh.
But,
No, because we were wanting to wait till Tony was here
Very
to
Yeah.
talk about that a little more.
I'll tell you what. I'll run down the matches. If you want to say something about them, go ahead. How about the opener? Heartthrob Jaden Roller versus Captain Bad Attitude James Brady.
Wait, before you say something, you got to take off the roller. It's not Jaden Roller anymore. It's
Did I
the
say it?
heartthrob
Nope, that's my fault.
Jaden.
Well, I like that.
I'm reading somebody else's results, so I can blame
I
someone.
like
There you go.
But
that.
I knew that. It is Heartthrob Jaden. He's dropped the roller.
And I like
apologize.
him. I like him. He's got the look of a nice wrestler, and he's got the moves. I don't know how long for sure he's been into it. We've had him around for about a year.
Yeah.
Between Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling and the MMWA, and he's come quite a ways in a short time. So I like him, and I hope he just stays with both of us, Southern Illinois and MMWA, and moves up the ladder.
From what I know, he did a lot of training out of Harley's camps.
Yeah,
Did a lot of work with Harley Race, so you're going to be fundamentally sound anyway.
Yes.
right, yeah.
And, he's really been busting his butt. He went down to, I think, Louisville recently. Ohio Valley
Mhm.
Wrestling did, I don't know if it was a seminar or what, but he went down there and caught some attention. So good for him. And James Brady, I know you were a little aggravated that he took out that chair.
Yeah.
But
I got to talk to you about that.
James
I
Brady,
liked it.
When it comes to he lived up to his name, Captain Bad Attitude. He was fired up, and inside that ring, he gave Heartthrob Jaden a big run for his money. That match could have went either way. I know you don't get too happy with folks who get a little too rambunctious, but
No, I don't.
Do you know who he reminded me of?
Who did he remind you of?
He reminded me of this little bitty guy
oh yikes!
that I remember watching when I was young down there at Broadway. I don't know. It might have been this guy right here.
Yeah?
Might have been this little guy right here.
What
the guy
about
that's sitting in the coffin right now.
Yeah, what about it?
He kind of reminded me of you.
How come?
Pissed off, angry.
I never got like that. I went in there and done my job. Tried to win every match.
But that's what he did. He went in there and tried to win his job. He had a bad attitude. He got beat by the better guy and threw a little hissy fit like a little girl.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
But I'm just saying, it kind of reminded me of you. The
Yeah.
attitude.
I didn't have no attitude. I just, win or lose, I always had a smile on my face.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes a tear in my eye.
I'm just saying. I mean, the kid came, showed up. Yeah. I mean, did he act like an idiot? Yeah. There could have been some roid issues.
Yikes!
Okay, next one.
Allegedly, should we say that?
Allegedly.
Trying to get Jim here, big Jim.
Well, you know, Dirt, I'm always listen. I like I've said, Drew. I'm fair and balanced. I'm an investigative journalist. Done some research. Allegedly, not saying. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but anyway. How about AJ Williams and Baracus, the big man taking care of business in 44 seconds?
Baracus beat him in no
42
time at all.
seconds. 42 seconds.
Well, it was
44
almost,
seconds.
it wasn't a match. It was pretty close to being no match.
It was quick.
Well, I almost told Baracus, you're done for the night. I seen him push somebody, and you can get suspended for that.
Well, that's
You
true.
don't touch a wrestler, and a wrestler don't touch a patron. And I seen him push somebody, and it come that close to getting suspended for the night.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
That's just not saying anything about who it was or what it was.
That's
It's just
fair.
in the background,
don't touch fans.
but it happened.
That's what you're talking
There's our
about.
boy Wyatt.
I must have missed it. What's up, Wyatt? Thanks
So-
for hanging out with us on YouTube.
And you know, as the promoter, AJ's been there for a while.
Yes.
And me and Drew had talked about this. Me, Drew, and Harris had talked about this. AJ kind of said that he's like, I guess I can't cut it in the ring. I guess he's done. That's what he's saying.
I don't know.
Have you heard from him? Has he said anything?
Hey, I haven't heard a thing from him. I was always good friends with AJ. Talked
Right.
to him. I talked to him away from the ring, outside of the South Broadway Athletic Club. And, sometimes some wrestlers are not quite up to par. Their elevator don't go all the way up.
Mm.
And at times it gets stuck halfway down. And so they think things should be different than what they are. And that's probably what he was thinking. Maybe I ought to be the champ. Maybe I ought to get this match or that match. I'm not getting it, so I'm done. So I don't know.
I mean, he's been down there. How long's he been down there? We figured it out.
Many years.
11
I'm not
years?
Sure. Yeah, we had AJ up in the studio
11
a few
years,
months
so-
ago. He's a real intelligent guy.
Maybe he's lost it.
Real athletic guy. I'm not going to be as gloomy as that. A lot of times when athletes go on, everybody hits a skid, hits a losing streak. I don't think AJ had won a match in a good while, and that messes with confidence. It messes with, it's any athlete that happens.
Any athlete. Look at Goldsmith with the Cardinals right now. He's in a slump. He's not doing too good. He's not leaving or quitting, but
Sometimes
You
people
know.
just need to step away and evaluate and maybe come back with a different game plan. You never know what could happen.
yeah.
That's true.
How about number one contendership? We didn't know this until we basically bonus for the wrestlers contending for this. How about Cayman with the brand new, I guess, manager? We'll call him Cage, the little guy with the gas mask, taking on Keith Smith Jr. What a match. Cayman picked up the win. Cayman now the number one contender. What do you think?
Well, Keith Smith Jr. has come a long ways. He's had a lot of help along the way. Many years ago, his grandfather talked to him before he passed away. He wasn't in the wrestling at that time. Ed Smith used to sit at my side all the time and talk about how he loved his grandson. And then his father, Keith Smith, who him and I were tag team partners for a while. I was tag team partners with his dad. And he took Keith Jr. aside and taught him what he could. And it's kind of hard. I tried to work with my wife. She wrestled for a little while, and being your sibling and trying to teach them something, and they think most of the time they know more than you.
Mm.
So it's a hard thing to do. But Keith got through to him, and Keith Jr. is a great wrestler, fine wrestler. Got a long way to go yet, but he's on the way.
You bet.
And Cayman's been around. He left for a while for some injuries and some other things, and came back and come back stronger than he was when he left.
You bet.
So right now he's in the driver's seat.
You're not going to ask him the question, Drew?
I don't-
The big question?
What is the big
How can you justify letting that, whatever it was, walk around the ring with a cattle prod?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see it.
Here
either.
I
we
didn't
go.
see it.
Drew tossing up the
I
softball
didn't see nothing
questions.
like that.
Harris just over there minding his own business.
Commissioner didn't see it. There wasn't nothing said about
How
it.
did you not see that big,
What do you-
long cattle prod thing he had?
Who had it?
He's seeing things.
That little, whatever it, what's his name?
Cage.
Cage.
I don't know. I
Allegedly.
don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. me
What
neither.
is you guys are just the
I have to keep
craziest.
an eye on that.
Now, let me ask you real quick. We had Keith Smith Jr. on the phone recently, and I think he said he first stepped foot, was brought into the South Broadway Athletic Club when he was 30-something days old. I'm sure you remember that.
Yes.
What has it been like over these last, decades, seeing kind of like Keith Smith Sr. as a youngster rise up, and now his son, the grandson of your good friend, is now there performing in the same building that his father and grandfather.
Oh, it was great. You know, Ed Smith was great. He was a great wrestler. He refereed many matches at the Keel Auditorium and at the big match at the arena between Harley Race and
Bet.
King Kong Brody. It was an hour match. He refereed that one. He refereed a lot of matches. He was a good wrestler himself. Wrestled all over the Midwest, Kansas City, different places, St. Joe. We went together to a lot of them. And he wrestled all over the place. And after Keith Jr. had his son, Ed was the proudest guy you could think of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He talked about him all the time, had him there all the time. And I remember when he was growing up, Ed was put into another, myself, Ed, the Lumberjacks, and somebody else was put into a Hall of Fame somewhere down south. And to get the award, we were going to give it to Ed's grandson.
Okay.
And Ed's grandson was so shook up and crying and stuff, he couldn't accept the award. And it was just you know how much he felt for his grandfather.
Yes, sir.
And it was just a great thing. And then with Keith Smith, I remember Keith Smith as a young guy in high school playing football, kicking footballs for a football team, and wrestling at the same time when he wasn't supposed to. But it was just a great relationship with Ed Smith, Keith Smith, and Keith Smith Jr. It's just a great feeling when you see somebody like that and you're close to them and they rise up and you can say, well, I was here when they done that. Maybe I didn't have nothing to do with it, but I was here when they done it.
Well, you probably had a little to do with it. And it's really neat now. Not only have you followed the path of your friends, the males of the family, but you've seen the family expand with now Michelle, who's as into it as anybody, Amanda, who's there and loves it now, and there's Ricky Cruz is sort of not extended, they married into the family, and their
Sure.
son Alexander now. So
Yeah.
it's just the Smiths are blossoming.
And Alexander is more like Keith Smith, but the youngest Keith Smith. He's all over the ring. He's doing chops on everybody. And he's only a couple years old, I believe,
Yes,
2 or
sir.
3.
Yep.
And it's going to be in his blood real early.
Yes, sir. All right. How about the ladies in town? Cameron Brene versus Savannah Stone. The fans love Savannah Stone.
Yes.
And they like Cameron Brene too, but Savannah Stone's captured their hearts. She's been around a few times here.
Yeah, well, Savannah Stone has been around. She was in Kansas City, a few other places. She wrestles wherever she can. And she's good. And they're both good. It was a great match between both of them. You couldn't tell how it was going to go. Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
One's a little more, what do you say, showmanship or charisma or something, or trying to be.
Well, Cameron Burnett on this night, at least, certainly was seemed to be running
Yes.
the mouth a
Well,
little
she
bit
was doing
more,
quite a
being
bit.
more flamboyant.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at her. She look at her.
Well, no,
She can.
I'm with it.
I mean, do you see that?
I'm a fan of
she
Kate.
can run. She can run her mouth,
I'm a fan of Cameron.
and she can back it up.
She did that night, but it was a great match. It was a good match. I watched the whole match.
Yes.
And a lot of times, I'm so busy. We don't
Need
have
some
no
water? You need some water?
Yeah.
We have a cup over there. I'll have to go get it.
And I watched the whole match. I'll be back with you in a second. I'm choked up right now.
I understand that wrestling will do that to the
Go
best
right
of us.
ahead. Yeah.
But no, that's a match that could have gone either way. And I think on this night, maybe the only reason Cameron Burnett picked up the win was she put the feet up on the ropes. If Savannah Stone was a little more, I don't know what the word is, but if she would have chosen to go that way at a various time, she could have picked that up too. So a lot of times you don't know. And this time Savannah Stone choosing to, I guess, go the right way might have cost her, unfortunately.
It was a good match. I watched the whole match. Usually I get tied up with somebody talking to me or this and that, an autograph, or can I talk to the commissioner? Can I say something to the announcer about her birthday or something? And, I get tied up and I don't get to see all the matches.
Right.
I watch as much as I can, and then I usually have to go to Drew or the commissioner and see what happens.
And a lot of times we don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many moving pieces when the show's actually happening that,
Yeah. But I don't know. Dirty left somewhere. I think he went down to Walgreens.
No, I was going to get you that cup, but it's 30.
That's okay.
fitting.
I got my feeling back now.
Oh, okay.
I got to take a mint.
Attila Khan. How about Attila Khan versus the son of the South, Frankie D? They were both fired up, ready for war. Frankie D came out with the war paint on his face. What do you think?
Well,
Attila Khan's something else, isn't he? You ever seen anything else quite like him in South Broadway's history?
not for a long time. We
Yeah.
had one many, many years ago. I forgot his name right now, but it'll come to me.
What's going on, Stevie Ray?
Who?
Stevie Ray's on there looking at us.
But yeah, Killer Khan comes out ready to go.
Yes.
He's going to win. No matter what he has to do, he's going to win. And Frankie, it's been a while since he's been back, but he's been back for 2 or 3 months now, 4 months, something like that.
Yes.
And he hasn't lost anything.
Oh, he's impressed the heck out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I had seen a little bit of Frankie D 8-9 years ago, but since he's come back, he's in phenomenal shape.
Yes.
He seems like he knows who he is a little, maybe more than he did, if that makes any sense. And he's got a lot to prove. And man, he the first month he was there, he picked up a win over Garrett Shanks.
Yep.
And then it's been
He didn't just pick up a win. He smacked that boy around.
yes, and he was not victorious against Attila Khan or last month. Well, he got caught up with some of the Moondog shenanigans, I think. But
Yeah.
Frankie D is a man with a lot to prove, and he's brought it every
Right.
time we brought him. So
Well, like you said, 8 or 9 years ago, he's come back a lot different, a lot more confidence in himself, whatever you want to say.
And even
like
he even
knows
he
who he
said-
is or
yeah, see,
whatever.
he's even said he's lost, I think, 120 pounds
He's
or
lost a lot
something.
of
Yeah,
that,
something
So,
like that.
really incredible. The Bomb Brian James against Marvelous Mark Morgan. This is the third month, and I didn't know this. You mentioned this last week, that I guess our former champion Brian James has been dealing with maybe a rib injury. So he had a bit of bad luck last month. Damian Cortez picked up the win, and then this past month it was Marvelous Mark Morgan picking up the 1-2-3 over a very recent heavyweight champion in Brian James.
Well, Brian James has been wrestling quite a bit, and he should take a break before, his home right now is at the MMWA, and some of these other matches, he probably should have passed them up. Like you said, he's got some injuries. He's trying to hide them, and that don't work a lot of times. I found that out many years ago. And, once they find out the injury, they're going to work on it and take advantage of you. And climb the ladder because of your stupidness of not taking a break and getting well.
But and I, I don't know his exact age, but I have to remember this too. He's in such phenomenal shape. He looks
Unbelievable
great.
shape.
We probably underestimate. He's probably in his 40s now, right? I'm not trying to put an age on somebody, and I don't know that, but he's older than he looks. And
He's older than 40.
He's ish, he's in there somewhere.
Older than 40 years.
Yes, sir.
You're right, exactly.
But he looks. He's in amazing shape. He looks like he's a 28-year-old man. So it's easy to forget that he's got a little more mileage on him than maybe meets the eye when you look at him.
Well, he reminds me of Gary Jackson.
Okay.
Gary Jackson's in tremendous shape.
Yes, sir.
Gary Jackson goes to the gym whenever he has a chance. He works out. And he's a great guy. He tries to help other people. Gary does. He's good.
You bet.
And he'll talk to them in the dressing room, tell them what, this and that, give them a few pointers. And Gary's in his 50s, but he don't look in his 50s, and he don't act in his 50s.
not.
He's just a great guy.
But what a win! Did marvelous Mark Morgan that opened some eyes? I mean, we haven't really. He's been here with us for a few months. I don't think he's picked up a win yet. He went 15 minutes with the Moondog a few months ago, which is an incredible feat. But picking up a huge win, singles, clean, 1-2-3 against somebody who 4 months ago was our heavyweight champion. So Mark Morgan making a statement.
Yes, he is. I like him. I don't know him that well yet. Jimmy's been dealing with him, so the commissioner's dealing with him. So I'll get to know him and see what happens.
Yes, sir. How about the tag team match? One half of the multi-state tag champs, the Big Texan, teamed with Damian Cortez, taking on Gary Jackson and CJ Shine.
Well,
any thoughts off the top
when you
of your
get the
head?
Texan in a match and you get Gary Jackson in the match, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Because they can both wrestle or they can duke it out.
Yes.
No matter whatever you need, they're going to do it. So it just it come down to duking it out a little bit, wrestling a little bit, duking it out a little bit, wrestling a little bit, back and forth, and that was what was expected from me once the commissioner told me what the match was going to be, and it was a good match.
I think it was.
Very good match.
I'm a sucker for a good old tag team match.
Yeah.
Gary Jackson is someone who's mastered all aspects of wrestling, so he's very adaptable. And CJ Shine was a heck of a partner for Gary. CJ Shine is someone who the fans are really catching on to, and they had a heck of a showing.
The Caramel Bear.
The Caramel Bear.
But he has
His
to
name.
calm down a little bit.
The
He
Care
gets
Bear.
a little hyper.
How could you not in front of the South Broadway crowd?
Well, I don't know, but he needs to calm down a little bit, and he'll be a real good.
That's what the dance
wrestler.
moves are for. That's for filtering off some.
Oh, well, that's
pre-match.
okay.
That's the dance. He's a dancing bear. That's all he
But,
is.
I tell you what, Big Texan and Damian Cortez didn't know if they were going to get along. They turned out they got on the same page to accomplish their goal. But it was, of all people, Jamal Swag who was the deciding factor in that match, coming out, distracting, and attacking CJ Shine, which caused Gary to be left all alone in the ring.
Yeah.
And Damian Cortez and Big Texan took advantage of that opportunity. It was like
Bent him like an
having a-
accordion.
yes, he did. It was like being on a power play. We're talking about hockey recently.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like having one extra man in there.
When they get the advantage, you got to take you got to go with it, and they did.
Now, here's my question, Tony. You see my man, the POD, you can catch on Monday nights on the DCS show. And hey, make sure you guys go to our YouTube page and subscribe and like our YouTube page. You'll be able to see all this stuff on Universal Productions. Yeah. So, when is my man, the big man himself, the POD? He is running roughshod through your locker room.
He is.
He's beating everybody. He beat Gary. He beat Brian James. He beat Gary Jackson. He smacked that rough cut Rick Ruby clown around.
He did.
Yeah, he beat that little golden nugget.
Golden Nugget. There were the Golden Nuggets gone.
Yeah, because Damian beat him so bad that he shipped him out of there.
Him and AJ's downtown.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be impressed with what the POD's doing.
Yeah.
You got to be impressed.
They're
What he's
down on the
doing.
riverfront looking for a horse where they can ride the buggy.
Oh Jesus!
Horse, he said, looking for a horse.
Yeah, stop,
that's
Stevie
a-
Ray.
just
Stop.
making
HORSE, not
Yes. Just
Right.
So we're all on
the horse that has the buggy behind
Right,
it,
'cause
and they
those-
want to take a ride. in
Because
the
there's
horse.
other things downtown too that kind of sound like that.
So I'm saying, I mean, he's up and coming.
Yes, he is.
You got to be impressed by what he's done this last year.
I'm very, very impressed.
And listen, I'm not any kind of a matchmaker, but to me, anytime someone defeats a former champion, and especially somebody who's held that belt within 3 or 4 months, that moves them up the ladder quite a bit. I mean, what better to prove that you're ready for title contention than to beat someone who had the belt just a few months ago?
So we talk about it, Jimmy.
A lot of
The
folks.
commissioner and I talk about it quite a bit. We talk about a lot of different things. But we can't just blab everything we talk about. So we talk about a lot of stuff. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And put this together, put that together. And, you know, we both work for the South Broadway Athletic Club. He's a commissioner for the MMWA. He's a matchmaker for the South Broadway Athletic Club and for me. And we work together on many, many things.
Yes.
Even who's going to referee this match? Is it going to be Shaft, Nick, or Jay, or whoever? We try to get the best person in there, and then we leave everything up to Drew to say what's going on.
That's it.
Hey, speaking of tag team, I do want to. I'm glad that you brought the tag team match up. So Tony, I want to ask you. So it was 2 months ago. You weren't here
Yes.
for the last of that show. But what's his name? McDarby.
Mauler
McDarby won that battle royal, and he earned a title shot.
Yes, he did.
But instead of going for the championship, which you kind of for the MMWA championship,
Yeah.
he said, and he called you and Herb Simmons out right
Yes, he
there,
did. Yes, he did.
and he said, "Hey, I could care less about the MMWA championship."
Yes, he did.
He goes, "I want the tag team championship. I'm doing this for me and my partner."
That's right.
So,
So I'll tell you what. Jimmy and I have been working.
okay,
I mean, we can't just jump on it like that. You
well,
know,
yeah, I know.
there's other contracts that's been signed and
Right.
stuff.
It's just we haven't talked
But
to you
when
since that
when
happened.
the occasion becomes available, with Herb Simmons, we talk and all this, and they'll get their shot. We know that. They'll get their shot as soon as the time comes available.
Right, because I know you're
It
old
could
school.
be next month. It could be the month after. It could be in January. We don't know when it's going to be. But as soon as everything gets cleared, where the champions who's already signed matches have to defend them.
Right.
And then these guys who won them and deserve it because that's what they said they wanted, a chance at the championship, we'll try to give it to them.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you're old school. And I mean, and me and Drew had talked about it. You weren't here. That was an old school thing what McDarby did.
I love old school.
And I mean, really it was. So I mean, for a guy to say, screw the singles championship, I'm here for my partner, me and my partner, we're riding and dying together. I mean, you've told the stories of you and Herb riding the road together,
Yeah,
talking, and so these two boys are riding the road together.
that's right.
What was your impression when he said that? Did he gain some points in your book
Yes, he did.
by saying that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Okay.
gained quite a few points
Okay.
because this is what he wanted. That's what he's working for. They're a tag team. They're together. They're almost every match they're together.
All the time.
They take care of each other's
Yep.
back. And they won the match, and this is what they wanted. They didn't want no heavyweight championship. They want the tag team.
Yeah, I mean, they
And
straight
I'll
up.
have to go along with them, so we're working with Herb, and we'll work it out. It might be in Illinois when they do it, and it might be over here at the MMWA. We don't know.
Right, yeah. All right, Drew.
I need a timeout before we hit our main event. I've noticed Wyatt Long has been calling Damian Cortez Uncle Damien.
That's right.
What have y'all done to this young man? What is going on
Listen.
here? Wyatt.
Wyatt is part of the POD.
All right.
Okay.
What is that, by the way?
Listen, Drew, we're not telling you. One day the POD will show you your truth,
Okay.
and then you will be accepted.
I'm not.
Probably off the deep end.
I'm not ready for what.
Who is Wyatt?
Wyatt Long.
Wyatt, our commentator.
A young man that comes up on stage with us.
Our little,
Oh, that little guy?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
POD means possibly
Okay.
off the deep end.
That's not what that means.
Well, but it applies. So
I didn't know that.
no, I just went. That's dangerous.
No.
brainwashing this young
we
man.
showed Wyatt his truth.
You got some kind of that's right, a creepy cult.
It's not
That's exactly
listen,
correct. Don't
listen,
drink the
Stevie
Kool-Aid.
Ray.
Thank you, Stevie Ray.
Listen,
is a
Stevie
creepy
Ray.
cult.
You keep running your mouth, and you might get smacked around by the POD.
Ooh, be careful. Be careful out there. Oh,
I
you
don't-
guys.
I think Stevie, I don't know if he has the power to sick Attila Khan on you.
I
They've
mean,
got something going
Listen,
on there.
POD ain't scared of that Attila Khan.
Before we go too far and take a break, what time is it?
Do you want to take?
Oh, almost. No, not yet. We got to talk about the Belclair Center.
Hang tight.
Well, hang tight because we
Main
got one
event.
more match.
Right. The finale of our show is Ricky Cruz was defending the title against Curtis Wilde. Curtis Wilde's been poking Ricky Cruz, poking him and poking him and poking him.
Drew, I have to apologize. Like I said, I'm a fair and balanced investigative reporter,
Yep.
and I found the videos
Okay.
where Curtis Wilde was talking a little crazy. So I apologize
Right
to
on.
you.
Look at you.
I saw the videos, so Ricky Cruz had a point, but I'm glad he lost.
All right. Glad you got that in there. All right. Very uncanny. He's happy. It's a happy dirty. I don't know what's going on.
I tell you what, I like Ricky Cruz.
Yes.
He's a
And I
bum.
like Wild. And Wild knows what he's doing. He goes out there. He knows how to get the crowd on his side. He knows how to get them against him if he wants them against him.
Yes.
So he knows what to do. And then sometimes that'll upset the opponent on the other side.
That happens.
So he's just being smart.
Well, there it is. The match itself went 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Curtis Wilde was disqualified because Wildfire pushed Ricky Cruz right off of the top rope and crashed Nick right now. We saw this, called for the bell. That was it. And then, Ricky was still not done, but they were beating him down. Curtis Wilde and Wildfire were putting the beating to him. Curtis, hit Ricky with the belt, right? Had him down. And out of all of the people, Savannah Stone comes out from the back, chases Wildfire away, gives Curtis Wilde a Hurricane Rana, and that's where this challenge has come up for this upcoming month. Whether we work that out or not, we'll find out. But man, Savannah Stone making the save, her and Ricky Cruz standing tall, the Wild side scurrying away from the ring.
There's a lot of commotion there, and I turned around and I was distracted. I turned back around, and Savannah Stone was up in the arms of Ricky Cruz, and I didn't know what happened, so I started asking. They started telling me, and then they talked about maybe a mixed tag match for next month. So we're working on it. We'll see what Jimmy comes up with.
But Curtis Wilde disqualified. Ricky Cruz still our champ, with lots of people breathing down his neck. Baracus has not forgotten about what happened just a couple of months ago. Damian Cortez on the rise. Gary Jackson was supposed to be in a number one contenders match before something happened. Curtis Wilde is not done with Ricky Cruz.
Oh, no.
There's people like Mark Morgan rising up, and gosh, shame on me for forgetting anybody else.
We have
several people.
Over the years, we've had people that had feuds and couldn't get along with each other. And the best thing we do is try to keep them, putting them together until it's over with.
Yep.
They may wrestle 4 or 5 months in a row, or they may wrestle 2 months, take a month off, and come back and wrestle again. But we tried to get that over with where we can move on to other things. So, and that's what the commissioner's been doing, and we've been doing that for many years.
Well, the line is long, but we want to make sure everybody gets their
Yes.
just dues, right?
Yes.
So it'll be interesting these next few months. And Ricky Cruz and Curtis Wilde, this thing's personal. They've been bothering each other in SICW, and now that's carried over to the other side of the river at South Broadway.
Yeah.
So Ricky Cruz needs to probably have eyes in the back of his head for the number one Jinja
Oh, yeah.
and Curtis Wilde.
Yeah.
So
Look, here's what I'm saying. I never saw what you said, where she jumped in.
Yeah.
Never saw that. Now it was after the fact and after the match. Curtis Wilde hit him with the belt, which that's fine. You could do that. Should have laid him open. But there was no reason for Savannah Stone to jump in there when she had no right to. No right. The Wildfire didn't do anything.
she did, and Savannah Stone had every right to help her friend and someone who's been there for her in the past in Ricky Cruz.
Yes.
That's what friends do. You don't have any, so nobody helps you out when you're in trouble. That's what people do when they like each other.
Yes, that's what I say, because I've had a lot of problems lately. I got to get back to this. I got a lot of problems lately. Even last week when I couldn't be here, I had stomach problems, and I've been in bed and all this. But my nephew is at my house whenever I call, or when I don't call, he's there. My son been bringing me pain pills. Okay. Jim Harris and his wife Ellie, we live pretty close to each other.
Awesome.
They come by. Do you need something from the drugstore? You need medicine? You need something from the grocery store? You need me to do anything? You know, they're there. And it's just so many people. Herb Simmons and his wife Mickey are always there for me. They have been for many, many years. And I've been very fortunate being 80 years old, not being pushed aside. You know, I got Jimmy Harris who looks after me, and some of my family. I call them my family, even though they're not. But they're just like family.
Yes, they
Everybody
are.
is. Jimmy
Yes, they are.
and Ellie and their family, and Herb and his big family, the kids and stuff. They all have respect for me, and I have respect for them. And his sister too, Novelle.
Yep.
She's a nice lady, and she's always been good to me and always looking out for me. And it makes you feel good when you have a lot of people that care about you, and that helps make you feel better. Even when you're feeling bad, and Jimmy comes knocking on my door, I say, just a minute, I got to get my three-legged dog out of the way. She goes nuts when Jimmy comes by. So we sit out on the porch and we talk for a half hour or so. He tries to see what I need. My son comes over with my medicine, and I was in bed. I didn't know he was here for 2 hours, but I didn't know it. And my nephew's there for everything, housework, whatever I need done on the house, cutting the grass, everything. So I just love everybody. Just the love from them people make me love everybody. I don't care who's done me wrong or not done me wrong. I love everybody.
I mean, you let me keep coming back every
I
night.
love you too.
I don't understand it.
Patience of a saint.
So let's talk about it. He's got a little bitty thing over here.
Yes.
Oh, that's the
Don't
Bell
cut-
Center. You know,
don't
that
say
big
it like
thing's
that.
coming up
Well, look at it. Look
June the
at the size
29th.
of this thing.
June
Oh.
the 29th.
A piece of paper.
That was in the newspaper.
Look how tiny that is.
That's the
It
results.
fits him perfectly.
That was in the results in the newspaper. Let me see the date. June,
You want me to read it? Can you see it?
August the 1st, 1984.
August the 1st,
how about-
1984.
How about this? We're about hitting our 1 hour mark.
Right.
Okay.
Why don't we come back
Do that
after a
on the
quick
second
break
hour?
and
That'd
talk
be
all
good.
about the Belle Claire Fairgrounds? But on our way out, you have another piece of paper right in front of you.
Yeah, so do that plug.
Okay, Joni's. I had spaghetti Monday, and that I better not say it made me sick, but I had spaghetti. Monday spaghetti and meatballs.
Stop, hold on.
Joni. Okay.
Wait, stop, Tony. You can't say you had the spaghetti Monday and then got sick.
No, because it was 4 or 5 days later.
Oh, okay,
okay.
good. You need
It
to
was.
say that.
We're
We
clear.
had to clarify.
nothing
to do with
Joni's
Joni.
Pizza will not get you sick.
No, it was Chick-fil-A.
There you go. Okay.
Chick-fil-A. Boy, that was greasy ass stuff.
Wow.
But Joni's pizza was great. We
I'll
had
be
the,
going to Chick-fil-A
and I
first.
told my wife, I said, just order one thing of spaghetti and one thing of salad. So she calls Joni's and orders 2 things of spaghetti and 2 things of salad. And it's just me and her and our adopted granddaughter, Brooke, to eat it. And we had enough for 6 or 7 people. And I said, don't order all that, just order one, because it's a big place, you know, it's a big deal. And they're at 804. I used to say 805. That's across the street.
Right, that's across
So
the street.
804 on Russell, and they got everything. They'll cater your party and everything else. They got sandwiches and everything you need. You just go over there and see Joni's and tell them you heard it here on the Dirty Show or the
It's the
MMWA
MMWA
show.
talk show.
Oh yeah, but just mention Dirty and then you get nothing. But just mention MMWA show.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't mention dirty. It might charge you double.
Right.
Yeah.
Mention Tony Costa.
That'll work.
Definitely.
That'll work.
Little Tony Costa.
They know me from the South Broadway Athletic Club. They know me.
Right, so
That's-
say that.
They're on jonies2go.com. You can find them on Facebook at Jonies2go. They're on Twitter at Jonies2go. If you go to Facebook, you see more than just our words. You see pictures of the food, and it's amazing. And how about you toss that number out? You're looking right at it.
214-865-5800.
That's all the information you need to know about Joni's to Go, ladies and gentlemen. What else? South Broadway Athletic Club.
Yep.
Yeah, they're cutting down a little bit. They used to do a lot of rentals and stuff. They might do a few more, but they got some big things coming up. They got the Whiskey Fest in a week after our August show, and that's that big one I told you about before. It's got 35 bands, 2 or 4 stages, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 1 o'clock in the morning. All you can drink, you just drink. I think it's a $15 cover charge. I think very much to spend there all the whole day there.
Yeah.
And they got plenty of food, plenty of drinks, plenty of dancing, plenty of whatever you want to do.
Good stuff. Well, you can. They're on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And I know you
No, I
know their
don't.
number.
I don't deal with that stuff. I don't know.
All right.
You know the phone number of the club, though.
Phone number of the club.
Yeah.
When they answer the phone number is 314-776-4833.
There it is.
But they opened the playroom in the back. They got a shuffleboard, pinball machines, dart machines,
Really?
all kind of stuff back there. And they spend most of their time back there to where there's no telephone. But if you call, sooner or later, they'll get back to you.
Fair
Somebody's going to answer eventually.
Just go to the Facebook page.
Yeah, send them a message on Facebook if you have any questions or want information about potentially renting out the hall.
Oh, we're going to do that later.
All right, with
Yeah.
that being said, we're going to take a break.
Grocery bags.
Oh,
with the Z, what else?
grocerybags.com with the Z. Make sure you go there, get all your spice needs, all that. This July 2nd, Unicorn Pearls with Kylie will be joining One Nation Network TV, me and Linda. She will be live here opening up the pearls, I understand. And special guest Jim Harris will be here with his lovely wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why'd you roll your eyes?
I didn't roll my eyes.
He rolled his eyes.
I didn't roll my eyes.
He rolled his eyes.
I didn't roll my eyes. Ellie's a lovely, lovely person.
Well, that's true.
And, hey, right now, Kylie is doing a thing. Go on after July 14th and donate.
Before July 12th.
What?
Before July 12th, because she's being very gracious to us, and she's donating her proceeds to see this guy get beat up.
Yeah,
and
that's
she might be the one person that we might have to let get a chop in, because she's raised a lot of money for us, and I think she was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
We might do it July 2nd just for fun, practice.
Oh,
And then
good.
she's got new products just came out. She's already out there talking about the new products, and she's taking a trip with Unicorn Pearls this week. So she's out there getting the new products and seeing the new merchandise. So check out Unicorn Pearls with Kylie on Facebook. It's awesome stuff. Van Tail Pearls is who she works for.
And how about our cohort here at One Universal Production?
Linda Brown.
Absolutely right. The lovely Miss Linda Brown, author extraordinaire. You can find her stuff on Amazon if you just Google her name. I can never remember the title of the company. So if you just Google, put in Amazon Linda Brown, spelled with a Y, Lynda Brown, it'll take you right to her stuff.
I'll make it even easier for you, Drew. You can go to onenationnetworktv.com and find all of her stuff on that. With that all being said, what?
Get her favorite plug.
Oh, iCasey with 3 Ys on Twitch. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
I'm breaking down like the rain, like my worries on a windy summer day. What I said, it's all the same. Can you help me? Can you help me feel okay? Take me out your cold ways. I need you, I need you, I need you. Kiss me gently on my forehead. I need you, I need you, I need I'm swimming down the deep like a mermaid and she needs nowhere to breathe. My escapes are all the same. Can you help me? Can you help me feel okay? Take me out there, your golden wings. I need you, I need you, I need you. Kiss me gently on my forehead. I need you, I need you, I need Take me out there, your golden wings. I need you, I need you, I need you. Kiss me gently on my forehead. I need you, I need you, I need
This is the MMWA show. Welcome back. I am Dirty. Sitting right there is the one, the only, big time himself,
Jim Harris.
And it's sitting right across from Jim Harris is the one, the only, the doctor of MMWA and SICW, who has the big show, and that's what we're going to wrap up our last 15 minutes with.
Yes. Drew Ebenhouse.
And right down there in the coffin, we let him. He's back in that coffin. Is that coffin comfortable, Tony? Oh wait, I got to turn you up, Tony.
I might have to sit there again sometime.
You like the coffin? See,
I love it.
It scared the hell out of me, Tony.
Nobody to bother me.
It's
Yeah,
very
great.
comfortable.
Yeah, it is.
You haven't even been in the coffin.
Not that one.
Just saying. All right, so Tony,
Yes, sir.
Drew,
Yes, sir.
we have the big show coming up at the end of the month.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to tell us where that's at? Because
I will.
Tony's got a little thing about it.
Yes. Stop saying Tony has a little thing.
Oh, okay. I got a little thing.
Tony, this is a family
Hey,
show.
everybody knows me. I got a little thing.
Tony, it's a
Yeah,
family show. Stop
All
it.
right.
Okay.
No, it's not. You
I better take my glasses off so I can see what I'm saying.
All right, Drew. June 29th.
Okay, this was
Oh, he's going to go first. All right, Tony.
Before that, let's
August
go
the
back
1st.
to August 1st.
August 1st.
1984.
Yes, sir.
How old were you?
Up to
70?
7. I don't know how old I was.
You were 70?
I don't know how old I am now. But the main event.
Thank you, Herb.
I better put my glasses on.
Wait a second, Tony.
And we got Herb watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tony Costa Show. Once a month, Tony comes on and just takes over, and we just kind of sit here and let
It
Tony
was-
ramble.
King Kong Brody defeated Bob Sweetan by disqualification. The second main event, Spike Huber defeated Gary the King Lawler for
Gary.
the Illinois
King.
State Championship.
Yeah, that's Gary the King Lawler.
Yeah.
Famed wrestler. Gary the King Lawler.
And
That's
Spike Huber wrestled all over the Southern Illinois with us. And then there was, who was it? Jason Reeves defeated the Giant Assassin. And Jason Reeves and the Giant Assassin, I think Jason Reeves was 6'5", and
Oh, wow.
the Giant Assassin 6'4".
Yeah.
They're two pretty big sized guys.
That's not
And
a name I'm
then-
familiar with, Jason Reeves.
No, me
Little Coco, Mr. Midgets, and Little Tokyo.
Was he a midget too?
Yes.
What happened?
Was he a midget too?
Don't ignore him. Just ignore him. Keep going,
I
buddy.
wasn't in that match. Is that what you said?
No. No, never mind. Go on, Tony.
No. Little Coco defeated Little Tokyo.
Very good.
But I wrestled Tokyo at Tojo Yamamoto many years ago, and the worst match I ever had. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony Costa defeated Terry Riley
Hey.
in
Hey!
6 minutes and 38 seconds.
Those guys-
And then the opening match was Big Daddy defeated the Black Panther.
What a show.
Wow.
That was in August of 1994. 1994.
84.
84, Tony. 84.
See, when you get old, everything looks the same.
I understand. That's really cool. And that's the kind of shows that,
Well, that's when I got my start. I started before that, but I wrestled 4 or 5 times in my early days at the Bell Cliff Center on the inside, and then I wrestled 1 time on the outside on the racetrack. And I'll tell you what, that they couldn't get the ring level. So it was like up in the air on one side, down on the other. So you had to run uphill one time and then downhill on the other. If you got enough sense, you stayed downhill because it's kind of rough going uphill.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I wrestled there on my way to being the 7-time junior heavyweight champion, and it was a great experience. A lot of good people were on them shows.
So, now that leads over right there to Dr. Drew,
Yes, sir.
which, Dr. Drew, if you give me 1 second,
I will.
I'm looking. I want to pull something up real quick.
I don't want to see that.
No, trust me, you won't see it. Trust me, Dr. Drew.
All right.
We're okay. But actually, I want to pull up something right here, right from your guys' page at SICW Wrestling Explosion on Facebook. And remember, go to youtube.com.
Yep.
Look up One Universal Productions and like and share, subscribe to our page. You have a gentleman that is coming up at your show. Do you know who this gentleman is?
Yes.
You do? Because he posted today.
I think so,
On
ladies.
Facebook.
I can't really do that. Hello, ladies.
You can't, Drew. So what we're going to do is, how about we do this, Drew?
Are you playing a video?
I am going to play the video
All right.
of this gentleman right here.
Ladies, the Big Valboski here, and I got some news for you. Saturday, June 29th, the Big Valboski will be making his way all the way out to Belleville, Illinois. And more specifically, the Belle Claire Fairgrounds for the biggest wrestling convention in the Midwest. Saturday, June 29th, the Big Valboski will be there. And you, well, you should be there as well.
So right there, you see it, Dr. Drew.
Yes.
The biggest wrestling convention in the Midwest, June 29th, as Tony just said, who was there August 1st, way back in the day, August 1st of 1984. June 29th,
Yes.
the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
You got it. It's a mouthful, right?
It is a mouthful for SICW in association with who's the guy? Gimmick Tree Production.
Yes.
Right?
And yes, that's our buddy Charlie Hartman. And it's going to be a huge day, ladies and gentlemen. The wrestling show itself starts at 7 o'clock, doors at 6. There's a meet and greet at 4 o'clock. How about this? I had a picture, and then I scrolled down, and I lost the picture. Anyway, Baron Von Raschke is in the house. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Road Warrior Animal. Tommy Dreamer. Val Venus, and Cowboy Bob Orton.
That is true.
Say that?
Yes.
I said, okay, so there we go. It's going to be awesome. And as you look, how about Val Venus? He's looking more like Goldberg than anything.
I know, right?
That's a different looking Big Valboski. But it's going to be a great time, and wrestlers will be at the meet and greet as well. Not just the big name wrestlers, but our own guy, Ricky Cruz, the Sean Vincents of the world, guys like that. We'll probably be there as well. So that's going to be a great card, and it's all coming together. That's your main event is going to be Attila Khan versus Tommy Dreamer in an Extreme Rules match. Craziness. I know Gil Rogers and Gary Jackson versus Curtis Wilde and Kowalski has been announced for the, I think it's called the Vintage, it's the Vintage Modern title. These are wrestlers coming in with Gimmick Tree Entertainment. Mecca Mercenary is taking on Joey Lynch. We have a huge women's match as Thunder Kitty. She's a blast from the past, folks. It's like a lady wrestler out of the 60s. I mean, Thunder Kitty is tremendous, taking on one of the meanest female wrestlers anywhere on the planet, Malia Hosaka. We talk about Sean Vincent. He will team up with Cayman. Sean Vincent and Cayman will be locking horns with the Professionals. We have Val Venus, we just saw, will be going one-on-one with the Beast Man, who I've never seen, but I've seen pictures, and he looks just like the name sounds. It's the Beast Man. Billy McNeil taking on Jake Prater. Jake Prater back in action.
That's funny you say that, because I actually have something from Mr. Prater,
Okay.
who has a message for everybody right from your guys' page at SICW Wrestling Explosion. Make sure you go and like their page and follow them.
Yep.
So here he is.
June 29th, SICW.
Oh, of
As
course,
I
now it
take
starts
on
acting up.
The one, Billy McNeil. Now, I've been gone for quite a while. I've been here in Colorado, up in the mountains, training, getting better, getting meaner, nastier. Billy McNeil, you better say goodbye to anybody you love because when you step in the ring with me, it'll be the last time that you ever step in the ring again.
That's the big man right there saying, like he said, he's been out for a while.
Yes.
And he's back, he says.
I wouldn't want to have to deal with Jake Prater on a good day, let alone somebody that's got a lot to prove, it seems like.
Right, exactly.
2 more huge matches. How about our new the new SICW champion as well now, Ricky Cruz.
That is true.
Teaming up with Flash Flanagan.
Ricky 3 belts.
To take on the Travis Cook organization, Chris Hargis. And it does appear now Ken Casa is officially back with Travis Cook. I haven't heard him say that, but his actions sort of speak for themselves. So Casa and Hargis versus Ricky Cruz and Flash Flanagan. And how about this for a treat? The Big Texan and Frankie D going not one-on-one, 2-on-2 against Cowboy Bob Orton and Tony Atlas. How about that?
Now,
that's Hall of Fame tag team match right there.
And there's still more matches to be announced.
That's probably going to do it. That's got us at about 9 matches, and that's probably going to do it.
Get some gas.
Are you sure? I know somebody.
We're gonna have to.
It's going to be a surprise.
Did I miss something? Well, there's going to be some other things as well, but that's what's public and out there, so that's what we're going to talk about.
There you go. Uh-oh. And I didn't want to say it, but Herb Simmons just announced it. He is coming, Drew. The POD is coming to SICW.
Well, that's huge news. Of course, we saw Damian Cortez just a few months ago with us, and he was very impressive against Richard Shaw.
Look,
that is bad news for Flash Flanagan and Ricky Cruz.
What do I got?
Yeah.
What do I got?
A lot of things.
I got goosebumps.
We're not allowed to talk about
I got goosebumps.
Info,
I got goosebumps. The man. And he posted it today that he said he was coming to SICW.
That's a huge deal. And somebody like Damian Cortez, under the guidance of Travis Cook and teaming with Chris Hargis, man, that's a game changer.
Listen.
And what's interesting is I didn't know if Damian Cortez was going to be able to get along with the Big Texan. Big attitudes, right? But he proved he was able to coexist with even someone he probably didn't get along with. Damian Cortez and Chris Hargis, while I believe this will be a first time ever
Yes,
pairing,
it will be.
That's real dangerous for a lot of people. So
listen.
But, I mean, they're going against two of the greatest wrestlers in SICW history in Flash Flanagan and Ricky Cruz. So he's going right into the deep end.
Yeah, he's going. But, I mean, it's like you said, though.
That's a great match.
Drew, it's like you said. What are you shaking him off for?
What?
Huh?
I just woke up. What
Yeah,
happened?
I know. So that was just announced. POD posted that he's going to be there.
That's a great
And
song.
what? And here, tell my friend Tony hello. And looking forward to seeing him back in the Belleville Fairgrounds.
Oh,
That's what your man Herb Simmons said.
Oh, Herb Simmons said that?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, well, I'm going to be there. I hope. I'm going on vacation Monday, but I'm going to be back in plenty of time to make sure I make that.
Drew, you'll be happy to know Harris has put me on assignment that day, so I will not be able to make it. I know you're upset that we won't get to hang out.
All right.
Drew, you're welcome.
I'm on assignment that
It'll be
day.
a busy day. I thought,
It would be a very busy day. And actually, I think it was my wife called Harris,
I got it.
and she's like, Harris, Dirty's got some things he needs to take care of at home. So he put me on assignment.
It's like when you're playing with your friends and you get the call from your mom as you're a kid.
Can you send him
Send
home?
him home.
Yep.
Crap.
The lights came on. Can you send him home?
But it's a big card. It's a very, very big card there,
Yes.
June 29th at the
Huge.
what is it, Drew?
Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois.
That's right. And with that being said, we can hear our neighbors are starting to kick up, right?
Yeah, that's good. Is there any final thoughts we've covered?
Tony?
I'm just glad that Herb called in. I'm glad that Cortez is making his way to SICW. And there's room for everybody on both sides of the river, so we're going to have some good shows between now and January.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an awesome night for both companies. And, we're big supporters of each other.
Absolutely.
And we also support, if you want to be a professional wrestler, you want to be a referee,
Oh,
you want to
we
do all the
forgot that.
ballets, you need to go and get proper training. Stay out of the backyard. Stop jumping over these crazy things that I've been seeing on YouTube and everything else, and go and get the training. And one of those places is Drew, where?
Ace Wrestling Academy. You can call 618-286-4848 to get all the information you need to know about stepping inside the ring and learning if maybe this is for you. Or if you are already a wrestler and you need a regular place to train that's not going to break the bank, where you can pick the brains of guys like Cowboy Bob Orton. Just last month, we had Killer Tim Brooks and Ronnie Garvin in for a seminar. Of course, the Night Train Gary Jackson and Ricky Cruz, among others. Sean Vincent, Canadian hero. You can sit under the learning tree of all of these people, headed up, of course, by the one and only second-generation wrestler, Cowboy Bob Orton. And no better place. Again, that's 618-286-4848. Or Sean Vincent is your man on Facebook to talk to find out all your information about that.
And you find the Ace School on Facebook as well, so send a message out that way. I know I'm an administrator on there. A lot of us are that run different shows. We'll put you in the right track. If you want to be a referee, you just don't walk in and say, hey, I want to be a referee and get in the ring. It doesn't work that way.
Are you sure?
You need to come train. I'm positive.
I know a lot of people that do that, Jay.
And that's why they're not there now.
I know.
Tony Costa didn't allow me just to do that.
No, I'm being sarcastic. Don't do that.
Ed Smith didn't allow me to do that. Terry Riley didn't allow me to do that. So those guys kept me straight, kept me legit, and busted my butt to get where I was at. So if you want to come out and do it, get the proper training.
Yes.
And do it the right way. And you'll go places.
You
Other
got
than
it.
that, then you'll be working those little backyards for
That's
You
right.
want to be a referee, go do whatever you want. You want to be a good one, get proper training.
Get the training.
So,
Whoa.
oh, go on.
If
Tony
you're
Costa.
still listening, Herb, I haven't forgot that we have a date for Hodax, but it's coming up soon. I'll give you a call.
Oh, man.
Wow. How did we miss that?
That's
back?
awesome.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
How did we get that?
Tell us. Herb, can't wait to see you at the awesome place.
And with that being said, this is the MMWA show.
Yeah, let's give a quick shout out. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay, go ahead.
It's all big family, right? I've heard little bird said Juan DaCosta's a little under the weather.
Oh,
We want to
Right.
send lots of love. We couldn't operate without her. So thank you for keeping her interested in wrestling in all these years. She keeps the train running real smoothly.
Yeah.
She's the first face you see when you come in.
And
door to
she's
South
my
Broadway.
boss.
And she's your
She's my
boss.
boss.
Get well soon. I heard you're not feeling so well. Hopefully everything works out well. And much love to Juan DaCosta.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
Herb says, I'm hungry.
yeah, I was just getting ready to say that.
Thank you.
Jerks. Can we just crash your
I was going.
party and y'all just cover it?
Yeah.
Dinner's on you guys. Come on out to Hodax is what you said?
What?
What?
That's what he said. That's what
How
Herb
many
and Tony
guys-
said.
How many guys you calling out there?
And with that being said, this is the MMWA show live on YouTube. Go subscribe, like our page, follow it. Also, go check out SICW Wrestling Explosion on Facebook. Go and like their page.
And I'm always thinking of one more thing.
Go on.
Go to Herb Simmons' Facebook page.
Yes.
The reason we didn't have a show this past weekend in East Carondelet, the National Guard was being housed in the East Carondelet Community Center to help with all of the flooding. Herb posted a video on his Facebook yesterday, I think
Yeah.
it was, where multiple
The city.
communities came together.
Mhm.
Police, firefighters, EMTs, and they gave a route out of the city to the National Guard.
Mhm.
And last time I looked, over 10,000 people had watched this video.
Mhm.
It's just a really neat sight when you see all of these first responders and police, huge line leading out this. Also huge. I didn't know there was that many National Guards there.
There was a lot.
Many huge trucks filled with lots of. It's just it was a neat sight to see in this video. So go check out Herb Simmons' Facebook. Check out that video. It's just a neat sight.
Herb's done a good job
Yeah.
at the emergency center.
Yes.
He's done a good job when he was the mayor. He done a good job when he was the police chief. He done a good job when he run the ambulance service. Herb does good jobs wherever he's at.
Not too
He's
shabby
the
of a wrestling
first
promoter
class
either.
man, besides being a wrestling promoter.
Right. Nope.
And with that being said, this is the MMWA show. For Dirty, the commissioner himself,
Jim Harris.
and for the mouth, the doctor of MMWA and SICW,
Drew Abbenhouse.
we're going to leave you with this, Dr. Drew, a thing from Sean Vincent.
Hold on.
Oh,
How you
You
gonna
don't want to say
Guest
goodbye.
of honor.
You don't want to say goodbye to me.
Oh no, and Tony Costa.
Just because I got gas, you don't want to say goodbye to me.
It's starting to stink out of the
Thank
cafe.
thank you for listening, and I'll be back with you soon.
And with that being said, here's a message from Sean Vincent for SICW.
Is your Canadian hero here, the ambassador of Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, coming to you live from my Maple Leaf Ranch. I want to talk to you about June 29th in Belleville, Illinois at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. What a show we're going to have for you. We have all the legends coming out, but also your Canadian hero is going to be there in a tag match where I'm going to face the professionals once again with my tag team partner, K-Man. And what a tag team battle it's going to be. Why is that smoking? I should not be smoking. It's fire. What the? Whoa, that's not good. That is not good. What is going? Oh, that is disturbing. Oh, whoa. Children? Creepy kids? What in the world? Sean Santel? Marvin Darby? That's not right. Creepy kids? Children? God! What are you trying to tell me? Huh? Where is he? Where's K-Man? Is this about the professionals? Is this about June 29th? Are we gonna beat him?
You're not ready. What? Daddy's here.
We need daddies here. Where's K-Man? God! You're not ready. What do you mean? You're not ready! What's all this mean? Why am I not ready?